Welcome to the Wire to Wire podcast. As always, it's me, your host, Yusuf. Now, without further ado, let's just get right to it. So, Jaylen Brown recently had a 50-point game against the Los Angeles Clippers and also made his case for being one of the best two-way players in the NBA. Now, with his performance of scoring 50 points against the Los Angeles Clippers, who has not really been a good team and they've actually been underwhelming so far this season, we have been seeing stellar play from Kawhi Leonard, and he's obviously known as a great two-way player. So for Jaylen Brown to score 50 points on him, it almost seemed like it was a statement game. He communicated his disappointment not being given the Eastern Conference Player of the Month award, but because of his play against the Clippers and what he's been doing so far this season in regards to the Boston Celtics, many people online have been wondering if he should be in the MVP conversation. Now, if we look at the numbers he's putting up and we look at the kind of season that he's having, combined with the fact that the Boston Celtics sit as at a record of 22-12 as the third seed in the Eastern Conference, I think he has a case to be in the conversation. For me, the way I seen the race shaking up in an episode that I recently did, I had SGA slightly at number one. I had Nikola Jokic at number two. Luka Doncic at number three, and Cade Cunningham at number four. Now, I would say that Jaylen Brown should be at least fifth in the MVP race based on what he's been doing and what he's been able to produce so far this season. Now, even with my list that I came up with in regards to the MVP, that list is probably subject to change. Now, I said SGA should be number one based on the season that he's having, combined with the fact if OKC Thunder go on to have one of these historically great seasons. Now, they took some key losses in the month of December, right? So SGA's position might be questionable depending on the outcome of the season. Nikola Jokic, right now he's out with an injury. He's out for the next 4 weeks. If he misses the 65 game threshold, then he may not even be eligible for the award at that point. And Luka Doncic had a very strong start to the regular season, and then now it seems to kind of be tapering off. I have another episode where I'll be discussing the reasons why, but his performance is slightly tapering off due to some changes in the lineups and the way that they're playing. And Cade Cunningham has a Detroit Pistons sitting atop of the Eastern Conference. So Jaylen Brown definitely, I think, deserves to be in the conversation. But in terms of who's going to win, it's too close to call. Because even going back to that episode that I did, already that list that I made, there's been a lot of new variables. And that's the thing. Because the NBA season is so long, and this is a regular season award, so much changes over the course of time that it's hard to have a concrete, definitive list on who's going to win or a definitive favorite on who's going to win. When I did that episode, it was closer to the start of the season, and SGA, Nikola Jokic, and Luka Doncic were playing incredible basketball. Now you fast forward, OKC is still doing pretty well, right? Luka Doncic, like I said, has tapered off, and Nikola Jokic is injured. So we don't know how things are really going to shake up towards the end of the season. It's possible that Jaylen Brown might propel the Celtics and they might go on a crazy run, and who knows, maybe things will change. Maybe Cade Cunningham will remain consistent and have the Pistons atop. So there's so many different variables. But I do believe that Jaylen Brown, at the very least, deserves to be in the conversation for MVP. I don't think he's actually outwardly said that he belongs in the MVP conversation. But now that he's getting into streaming, maybe he's going to start campaigning for himself to win the award. And why not? We've seen players in the past campaign and push for themselves to be winners of the MVP award, right? They use whatever means they have at their disposal. There's a kid from Akron who likes to pay people in the media to constantly push that he should be an MVP winner or be in the conversation almost every year. But then you've seen other players do it. Joel Embiid at one point was advocating for himself to have to win MVP. Russell Westbrook, James Harden. These guys have always they've always spoken about their stellar play and how they should be in the conversation and be under consideration for winning the MVP award. So it's nothing new. Players campaign for themselves all the time. So I don't believe Jaylen Brown has emphasized it too much. But if he continues to play the way that he's playing, and the Celtics continue to win games, and they remain as a top team in the Eastern Conference, yeah, then I can see him doing interviews or going on streams and pushing for himself to really be an MVP candidate. Now, as the season goes on, obviously, I'm going to be here covering it, giving my analysis, sharing my opinions. But based on how everything is happening right now, yeah, I think he should at least be in the MVP conversation. Now, I gave my 5 players. So Jaylen Brown is, as you guys saw, is certainly one of them. And who knows, there may be some movement, there may be some changes. But I have no problem with him calling himself one of the best two-way players in the game right now. And I have absolutely no problem with him being mentioned in the MVP conversation. But that's all I got for you guys today. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and share with your people. You guys can also follow me and the podcast on social media. All of the links will be in the description and pinned in the comments. You guys can also check out my books. The link will be in the description and pinned in the comments. Until next time.